Hey, it's Shiley, and you're watching Eat Breathe Books. Hey everyone, I hope they're doing well. So today I wanted to come on here and talk about the books that I recently read. So the books I read in August, September, and one of the books I actually finished the morning of October 1st, so I'm going to count that in here. And then I'm going to do a little TBR, not a big, huge, ambitious TBR. We know those don't usually go very well, I think, for a lot of us. But just a couple books on my radar that I would really like to get to this month. And, you know, a little info on each of them. And I think they're all new releases, if I'm not mistaken. So first I'm going to just talk about the ones that I recently read. So here we go in order. First of all, we have Part of Your World by Jimenez. So I read The Friend Zone a couple months back. I loved it. Actually, it's in this book stack right there. I don't know if you can see that. Loved it so much. One of my favorite romances. It was so beautiful, so heartfelt. It was so good. And then my best friend Jennifer said that I should read more of Abby's books, and she said that Yours Truly is one of her favorites, but I knew I had to read Part of Your World first. She told me that, so I decided to pick this up first. So basically, this is part of Abby's other series. It's actually just a duology. This one is an age gap romance, and it's about a young woman who's a doctor, and I think she drives into a ditch and ends up in a small town and meets this guy there, and then they realize they have a connection, and she starts coming to visit him on her weekends off and things like that, and they start forming a connection from there. This story was absolutely beautiful. I expected it to be because of how much I loved The Friend Zone, and just the banter is delicious. The romance is so sweet. There's always also more going on, more drama, familial drama, internal drama, whatever it may be, that really just tugs on my heartstrings. And this was so incredible, and I'm so excited to read Yours Truly and read more of Abby's books. So yes, I really highly recommend this one if you like romance. The next one here, I saw Rachel Catherine talk about, so credit to her for putting me onto this book. I'm so happy she did. This is Unstable by Carrie King. I would classify this as I don't know if it's a YA, maybe it's a crossover. It takes place the summer after freshman year of college. So kind of NA, but basically it's about this girl who, like I said, just finished her first year of college, and her dad has just moved to a small town, or to Newport, Rhode Island. It gave me kind of beachy small town vibes, coastal small town vibes. And so now she's living there with him, and she gets a job working at an equestrian barn. Essentially, a lot of the people around her age are professional horseback riders, and she starts working in the stables, and she develops friendships and a romance, and it's kind of a love triangle, which is symbolized by the different items on this gorgeous cover. It is so beautiful. She has a huge love for Jane Austen. It's very prevalent throughout the whole book. It's just the writing is very ethereal, very romantic, and very thoughtful. And I actually have not read any Austen, which is crazy. I have some sitting up on my shelf. I know that I need to get to it. As someone who's a writer and a huge lover of romance, it is crazy that I haven't read Jane Austen. I'm fully aware. I really love this one. Also, shout out to Carrie. She is a self-published author. This is her first book. She published it on her own, and it is incredible. It is fabulous. I hope more people give it a read, and thank you to Rachel Catherine for talking about this in a vlog, because you made me realize that it exists. So, yeah. Now, I thought I was going to enjoy the next two books I'm talking about, but I am obsessed, safe to say. So I started with Set on You by Amy Leah, and it's because, and I'll talk about it soon, I was very interested in reading her YA that literally just dropped yesterday, today's Monday, today. It's called Woke Up Like This. I'll talk about it later. And I had gotten it on Kindle, but starting to read it, I had read 9%, and I was like, you know what, I feel like this is going to be one of my favorite books of all time. I need to wait until I have it in physical form. So I just stopped reading it on Kindle, even though I was just loving it. And I said, you know what, to fill the void until I can read that in physical form, because I'll have to wait for it to come out, I will read some of Amy Leah's adult romances. Picked up Set on You. I thought I was gonna like it. No, I love it. Not only do I love it, I feel a special connection to it because I felt seen when I was reading this book. Now, personally for me, I don't feel seen a lot when I read stories. I love many stories. I may relate to certain lines, but when people talk about how they've read a book and it feels like the author read their mind and understood them, I really don't get that feeling very often, just because of the various intersectionality that I have, you know, being curvy, being Jewish, whatever it may be. I just don't see myself a lot in stories. And so, with that being said, she is a curvy fitness influencer. Now, I'm not a fitness influencer, but I am curvy. And the protagonist's journey of self-love throughout the story was so incredibly beautiful and touching, and even a little hard to read sometimes. I understood what she was going through, and I don't want to give away like what exactly she's going through or her epiphany. I think that you should read it and find out, but I just want to say, any other curvy girls out there, you might really love this story. I also just really love the romance. I love how much they cared for each other. I love the banter. It started off kind of enemies and became lovers, rivals to lovers, whatever you want to say. And it was just really good. I also love the familial aspect. There's also a wedding being planned in here, and it was just thebomb.com. This is the perfect segue to talk about our sponsor of today's video, which is BetterHelp. Thank you so much to BetterHelp for sponsoring. Guys, first I just want to tell you that I've personally used BetterHelp for several years. More recently, I've had another therapist on BetterHelp, and she literally helped me to love myself more. BetterHelp is an online app, and it has so many licensed therapists on there, I believe over 30,000, and they're trained to listen to you and to give you helpful and unbiased advice, all done digitally on your phone. For some people, it might not be easy to find a good therapist in their area or someone who suits them, or maybe they can't really commute. You can just get on your phone, you have a scheduled session with your therapist, you can video chat, you can have a chat session, you can have a phone call, and on top of that, you get to have unlimited texting with your therapist, texting through the app. All you have to do is fill out a questionnaire on the app, which should take about 48 hours for them to get back to you and match you with a therapist. And if you don't like that therapist or you think they're not a good fit for you, it's fine. You just let the app know and they'll switch you over. You don't have to worry about insurance, about who's in your network, or anything like that. I actually didn't know this until today, but apparently over 4 million people are using BetterHelp. Think about that. 4 million people have been able to get help through this app. I think that is so amazing, and you could be another one who ends up receiving help or tools. I was just talking about how in the book, like, she's a fitness influencer. She goes to the gym to clear her mind, right? Well, people go to the gym to take care of their bodies, so why don't we go through therapy to take care of our mental health? Right. If you think you might benefit from therapy, then consider checking out BetterHelp. My link is right here on the screen and in the description down below. And if you click on the link, it will help support my channel, and you'll also get 10% off your first month. Related to Set On You, we have X's and O's. This is a companion novel. There's gonna be 3 in the series. The third one, The Catch, comes out in February. This is about the protagonist in that book's sister. I think I may have loved this even more than Set On You, which is really saying a lot. This is about a book influencer. It's an influencer series. Her tendency to just not give up on love, despite the fact that she's had her heart broken literally 10 times. And she moves in with this new roommate, and she has a crush on him, but like, she knows like they can't really be together because he has his own baggage. And then she goes on this whole journey of trying to like get back together with one of her 10 exes. She tries to like meet up with a bunch of them, and it's just so many hijinks ensue. Like, another thing I really love is that you can really call Amy Leah's books rom-coms. I feel like people say romantic comedy a lot, but the books they talk about sometimes don't have much comedy, which obviously is subjective, but like, these books are laugh out loud funny, and there are also moments that are like slapstick, and I can see them happening as if they were playing in a movie. Like, that would happen in a rom-com. So I also really enjoy that about this and the other book, and I felt really seen in this one as well, because people give Tara flack sometimes for, you know, they tell her things like, oh, you have your head filled up with too many of these romance novels, and like, your expectations are way too high for love in real life. How are you supposed to find a guy who matches the ones in your books? And she just doesn't give up on love, and I think that's so beautiful, and it was such a great message to me. I shall not be lowering my standards, and I shall find the right guy, and that's that. The next one I don't have on me. I actually was what do you call it, a money saving queen, and got it from the library. It's The Blonde Identity by Ali Carter. If any of you grew up reading Gallagher Girls, you know, the spy series about the girls in the boarding school. The first one is called I Tell You I Love You, But Then I'd Have to Kill You. Oh my goodness, I was obsessed with that series growing up. I loved it so much. I loved the girl power. I loved all the secret spyness, the boarding schoolness, the romance, the funny, you know, funny lines, funny banter. It was very humorous as well. I love the strong female lead and her strong friends, and oh, I just love those books growing up. And people were saying that The Blonde Identity is basically for Gallagher Girls fans who now read adult romance, and I was like, okay, sign me up. I definitely got my Gallagher Girls fix. I will say it's still very unique in its own. It's not like Ali just rewrote the books, you know, from the perspective of an adult. That wouldn't make sense. But it was so so entertaining. I genuinely felt like I was watching a movie when I read it, and that makes sense because apparently Ali Carter is also a screenwriter. Basically, this young woman wakes up on a snowy street in Paris. She has no idea who she is, how she got there. There's just this like cute guy near her with her, and she doesn't know what's going on, and she just knows that she's being chased and someone's trying to kill her. And the only person who can help her is this guy because he seems to kind of sort of somehow know who she is. So it takes place only over the course of a couple days, running through Paris, I mean, really it felt like just watching a spy movie and a romance, strong female lead, strong male lead, and it was so entertaining. Highly recommend. That's it for the books that I've read recently, and now I will talk about the ones that I'm currently reading / want to get to this month. So 1 second. I just realized that all 4 books I'm going to be talking about are purple, so that's fun. The first is The Brothers Hawthorne by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I really enjoyed the Inheritance Game series, and I'm happy that there's another book out. I have heard that, like, if you haven't read the other ones, you might not really, like, be as obsessed with this one, and that makes sense. It's about 2 of the brothers who were pretty main characters in the original series. I just know that this is a YA mystery series and that I enjoyed the other books, and I'm actually planning on doing a cute little book club with 2 of my friends who also like the series, and we're supposed to be doing that later this month, so I gotta get on this. I have like around 2.5 weeks to read it, I think. So the next one I mentioned earlier, which is Woke Up Like This by Amy Leah. This is her first YA, but sort of a crossover because it's about 2 17-year-olds planning their senior prom. They are straight up rivals, enemies, don't like each other. And then they wake up as 30-year-olds married. Can you say 13 going on 30, right? That's definitely a comp for this book. And I'm telling you, literally reading the first 9%, I was like, this is probably going to be one of my favorite books of all time. So I waited because I knew I needed to read in physical form. Am I the only one who's like, no, like I need to read books in physical form if I think I'm gonna like really love them. Though sometimes I can still really love a book on Kindle. Like The Love Wager by Lynn, one of my favorite rom-coms, loved it on Kindle. But anyway, it says 2 high school seniors. Where will they be at 30? We'll find out tomorrow. Also, I just want to say this cover is stunning. And there's confetti and everything on the back. It's so cute, and I'm probably gonna read this next after I finish my current read, which I will show you in a moment. I'm a little more than halfway through. It's A British Girl's Guide to Hurricanes and Heartbreak. I loved A Cuban Girl's Guide to Tea and Tomorrow. I think I have it on this table. No, I didn't bring it over. I was gonna show you guys. But anyway, one of my favorite books. I loved that book, and this is a companion novel about the sister of the love interest in the first book, and about the heartbreak that she is going through, the difficulties she's going through. There's like kind of sort of a love triangle. To be honest, like I'm really enjoying this, but I would warn you not to go into this thinking you're gonna read like a whirlwind romance. Like there are romantic elements, but really the protagonist is grieving a lot. So trigger warning for grief, and it's really about her journey and her healing and things like that, but like I said, there are romantic elements too. This is about a girl from London who goes to visit family in Florida and tries to heal from difficult things that have happened to her in her life. So really enjoying this so far. This one is 8 Days and Nights by Betsy, Alderege. To be honest, I might actually wait until Hanukkah time to read this, or Hanukkah, but it's called Hanukkah time to read this, which is in December, and we're in October right now. But I really just wanted to shout it out because it's a new release, and I want everyone to support Betsy Alderege if they can. So yes, like I said, this is 8 Dates and Nights. This is a YA romance, and it's about these 2 New York Jews, and they are in a small Texas town. I think they're like the only Jewish teens in this entire town, and the way that they bond over each other and celebrate Hanukkah. And I'm just so excited to read about that because you don't very often find books about Jewish characters, especially Jewish characters who, you know, are religious in some way, or at least observant or traditional in some way, and really keep their holidays and things like that. And you know, I love seeing myself in stories. Like I want to feel seen in more stories, and I hope that when my own books that I'm writing come out, hopefully soon, when they get published, like other people who read my books will feel seen. So anyway, I think that's really important, and everybody deserves to get the chance to see themselves in stories. So I'm really excited to read this. Again, I might wait till Hanukkah because it'll be like very much the vibe, but I just wanted to shout it out. Also, there's actually one more book I did want to talk about that's not purple, and it's basically, let me tell you what happened, okay? So it landed on my doorstep a couple days ago. I was not home and somebody stole it. Yep, somebody stole it. I mean, I think somebody stole it because I saw the Amazon person literally posted a picture of the package in front of my door and then it wasn't there. So I feel like someone stole it, which as we know happens a lot in America. Thankfully, Amazon is sending me a new one, so it's okay. But I was really excited to get it, but it's okay, I'm getting it tomorrow. And it's called Picking Daisies on Sundays by Liana Cincotti. I actually found her through TikTok when her first book, Don't Be in Love, went viral, and I want to be her best friend. Like, I just think she's so nice and so cool, and I'm so excited to give this a read. I'm so proud of her and like so excited for her. It's a book, I believe, about best friends to lovers, and there's a lot of pining in it, and the cover is so gorgeous, and I'm just so excited to give it a read, so I can't wait till it's in my hands. I would love to read that this month too. So I feel like I have a good TBR going on. Thank you so much for watching this video, and check out BetterHelp. I really highly recommend it. And let me know below if you have read any of these books, and make sure not to leave spoilers. And like and subscribe if you wish, and I'll have my social media links down below as well. I'm pretty active on Instagram. And talk to you guys later. Bye!